Welcome to the SMRS Clearing 2019 webinar. I'm Amy Kleinman, Education Marketing Consultant.
And I'm Vicky Green, Client Marketing Consultant.
We're going to spend the next 45 minutes talking through our review of Clearing 2019 campaigns and creative execution across the sector. You may spot some of your own work in the process, and we're looking forward to discussing with you in the Q&A at the end.
Okay, so before we get started, just a very quick intro into SMRS. So we operate across two offices based in Manchester and London, and we are a marketing communications agency. We have around 80 talented people that work for us in a variety of different roles, from creative roles, strategic roles, to roles where we're really kind of focused on digital and campaign implementation. Currently, we work with around 32 different education clients, and that's in a variety of different ways. So not just consultative work, but also planning and implementing media and advertising campaigns. We bill around £22 million worth of media in every 1 year. And we're also part of Dentsu Aegis. So we have a lot of access to all of their different tools and their different agencies as part of the Dentsu Aegis network. So thinking about our education space then and the two areas that we operate in, we run strategic marketing campaigns and we also offer strategic consultancy. So the marketing campaigns are everything from supporting with strategy, using our research and insight to help plan, buy and implement media advertising. We also support with content and conversion marketing, so helping with kind of content strategies and thinking about what would be the best tactics over that conversion period for universities. And we operate across all media channels, so bought, earned and owned channels. We have access to a lot of audience insight and channel insight, which again we can support universities with when it comes to planning and implementation. And we are firm believers in tracking, analysing and reporting and measuring everything that we do. We also have a solid creative services team here who can support with campaign creative. And also we have a web development area of the business when it comes to thinking about how you can get the best out of your websites and developing those landing pages. And then on the strategic consultancy side, there are 4 key areas that we work under. So the first one being who. So allowing institutions to really understand their target audiences, so their customers. And we do this through a number of different ways, whether that be data analysis, looking at segmentation and how we would segment different audiences, whether that be data-driven or behavioural, and also persona development, so creating different personas for institutions to help them with their communications. Then the what, so portfolio development, where we can look at the courses that are offered and whether they're right in the market or not, and give our strategic advice on potentially developing new courses and withdrawing courses where there just isn't the appetite anymore. We can also support with competitor analysis, and we do that by using our tool, Yware, which houses a lot of HESA data and other really complicated data sets, but visualizes it in a really usable way. We also help identify market opportunities and we look at that bought, earned, owned analytics as well to see how you're performing on your social channels, on your website and through your advertising. We undertake customer journey mapping projects, so looking at all the touch points that a student might experience along that phase. And we can support also with outreach, that's school and college strategy and also CRM strategies. And finally, the how, so thinking about that brand development, the definition, really making sure that your brand is strong and relevant in the marketplace, as well as content marketing. So a whistle-stop tour there, just some of the things that we can do as the agency. Now let's crack on with the clearing presentation.
Let's get started with a look back at the picture 28 days after A-level results day. We saw decreasing male participation. Placed male applicants fell by 650 compared to an increase of 870 in females, although both represent a 0% difference year on year. But when indexed to 100 equals men, this makes the totals 100 men and 137 females. The popularity of subjects has changed slightly also. Subjects allied to medicine had the greatest increase in volume of placements, with almost 3,000 more in 2019. That's 56,170 in 2019 versus 53,360 in 2018. Conversely, creative arts and design had the greatest decrease in volume, with 1,330 less in 2019 compared to the previous year. There was a change in subjects as well in terms of the percentage of interest. So we had medicine and dentistry with 12% change, and general combined and other 13% change. These were the only subjects where there was a growth in interest. Mathematical sciences had the largest decline compared to 2018, which was down 11%, followed by mass communication and documentation, which was down 9%. And with ethnicity, there was an increase of 6% among Asian students gaining places in clearing this year. Black students increased by 4% and mixed by 5%, while white students saw a decline of 3%. We also saw the first year of market increase. There were 495,620 applicants placed worldwide, and 424,550 of these were in the UK. This is an increase of just 210 on 2018, and this is the main scheme and direct clearing. We also saw that the number of 18-year-old participants increased this year, and it was up by 2% in England. And looking at when applicants are placed, there were 10% more applicants placed through clearing compared with the previous year, and 30,850 were placed in the first 4 days following results day. And the picture with different tariff institutions, lower tariff providers saw a 1% decline in placed applicants compared to growth of 2% for higher tariff providers, and medium tariff providers fell by 390 since 2018, which is only a 0% difference year on year. With the EU, obviously there's been a lot to say about our current situation. And the picture after A-level results day last year, we saw 30,350 applicants placed from the EU, and that's excluding the UK. And that was a 0% change on 2018, so a flat picture. And 40,720 placed from outside the EU. So that's a 6% increase on the previous year. Looking at social mobility, this year there was a 3% increase in 18-year-old applicants from UK Quintile 1 Polar 4 group, which is fantastic, but the largest volume still remains from Quintile 5 Polar 4 group with 78,230 applicants. And finally, the picture with nursing. There were 20,750 placed applicants to nursing courses through clearing this year in England, and this is a 4% increase on 2018. Nursing continues to grow from non-EU applicants, and it's grown from 50 in 2016 to 170 this year.
Okay, so now if we take a look at the picture across the media platforms many of our clients are active on, and if we start here with Google search, there was a significant appetite from all types of universities to invest heavily on results day itself. Looking at the period the 15th of August to the 22nd of August, 76% of the search budget was spent on results day itself, and the remaining 24% was spread out between the 16th and 22nd of August. 72% of the conversions recorded in results week came on results day. The cost per conversion was 19% cheaper in the 6 days after results day, and the average click-through rate for generic terms increased by 32% if we look at results day compared to the following week, and this highlights a reduction in competition. The average cost per click on results day was £27. CPC reduced to £13 between the 16th and 22nd of August. The most expensive search term was Clearing UCAS, which had a cost per click of £57 on results day. However, UCAS, as an exact search term, had the lowest average CPC of just £8. If we look at some of our education channels then, so thinking about the complete university guide and what you need to start with. So this year, self-releasing online was made possible for the first time ever, and students across the country traded up and moved across in their droves. On A-level results day this year, the Complete University Guide received over 1.2 million page views, which was a year-on-year increase of 23.86%. And that was with the specific clearing page views increasing by a staggering 41.70%. In the month leading up to results day, CUG clearing pages achieved a 29.31% increase in views, and What Uni clearing page views were up 48.5%, suggesting that students are thinking about clearing far earlier than they have historically. Moving on, so law remains the first place subject on Complete University Guide this year. However, it has suffered a bit of a drop in searches, falling by 2.62 percentage points. If we take a look at What Uni, psychology ranked as the most searched subject. However, this year its popularity has fallen by 6.36%. In the period the 14th of July to 14th of August, so the day before A-level results day, 12% of users were searching CUG for courses requiring 91 up to 120 tariff points, whereas on results day, this increased to over 16%. And the top 3 cities where traffic to What Uni and CUG originates in the period from the 1st of July right through to the 30th of September 2019 were London, Birmingham and Bristol. Students in Manchester, Leeds and Nottingham came in after those top 3 cities. Moving on to the student room. Now, we know that reviews matter, and 92% of students said they were important to their firm reply choice. So content and forums on sites like the student room give applicants the reassurance they need to make their final choices. And as seen previously, medicine was the only subject to increase in clearing. Now, if we look around media insight for the student room, as we said, universities began advertising earlier than ever before this year, and actually maybe those reassuring kind of clearing messages accounted for an overall positivity around results day. Unconditional offers may have also played a part in the decrease in anxiety about receiving results. So quite a positive picture there. And finally, if we just have a look at social media, so we monitored the social landscape for 13 of our clients and aggregated our findings to evaluate the performance and identify trends in clearing related activity. So all the stats that I'm about to talk through are taken from the 1st of July to the 31st of August 2019. So starting with some social media observations then, Facebook was the channel with the most activity at 0.44 posts per day. Instagram was the channel with the lowest activity at 0.08 posts a day, but it actually had the highest engagement rates of any channel at 1.90%. Video posts were the most common post type of 0.71 per day, but carousel posts had the highest engagement rates of 1.97%. The top universities reached 2,091 total engagements through just 55 posts, so really significant reach there. And the top 3 most engaging universities achieved the highest engagement through 10 or fewer posts, so 0.26% average engagement per post. Posts around topics including call, last year, clearing application and good luck had the highest engagement rates. And the hashtags #StudentLife and #UniversityLife had the highest engagement rates per post, but actually weren't used by many of the universities we observed. So thinking about our top tips for clearing around social, starting with content, make sure that what you're posting is interesting, engaging and relevant. Volume doesn't necessarily equate to increase in engagement. Second of all, think outside the box. Use hashtags that will encourage engagement but aren't being commonly used by competitors. Thirdly, think about your channels. Where are your audiences? Now, as we saw from the research, Instagram had the lowest volume of posts but the highest engagement rates. So make sure you're active on the channels where your audiences are present. And with formats, don't just stay static. Include carousels and video in your social plan. These formats tend to see much higher engagement rates. And finally, experiment with posting days and times and see what works for your audiences. Consider potentially posting late at night or early in the morning or even over weekends.
So this year we scoured the media to collate and analyse over 70 universities' attraction messages over the clearing period. We've looked at what's been said, how it's said and where, and this is what we discovered. There were many examples of universities going the extra mile and giving students real reasons as to why they should choose them, which was fabulous to see, as it shows an increased awareness of the need for universities to compete and engage with their audience on both an emotional and intellectual level. The messaging tended to fall into these 8 categories, and we're going to go through these, Vicky and I, and show you some of the creative along the way. So, starting with a sense of urgency. The importance of acting now, because the clock is ticking, came through strongly and was used to inspire action by many universities. Starting off with the University of Aberdeen, which led with the idea that if you've got your exam results, you'll get a decision about whether or not there's a course for you in 60 seconds. Showing a graphic of a clock, it stressed the urgency of making the right decision quickly. Followed by Arden University, which used the creative message of go, get going, the suggestion being that Arden can offer you the direction and motivation to go far in life, and that immediate action is required now. And finally, Anglia Ruskin University talked about Plan ARU and used active language to inspire immediate action and drive people to discover more and apply now.
So being an early bird, a few universities went with the angle of early registration. This seemed to act like a bit of an insurance policy, so that if on results day you didn't get the results you were hoping for, you'd be first in the queue for your preferred alternative option. Starting with Brunel University, they prompted the message of a request to call back on A-level results day. You just had to input your details and they would call you. The University of Greenwich built their campaign around the idea of getting priority access, encouraging students to sign up now in order to alleviate their worries and be first in line for a high-quality experience on A-level results day. And finally, the University of Reading. They also promoted the idea of pre-registering for priority treatment on clearing day.
Now into pride of place. Location and lifestyle featured quite heavily this year as compelling reasons for students to choose one university over another. There was a real emphasis on encouraging students to imagine themselves in their new home from home and helping them to do this by sharing snapshots of what life there could be like for them. We have the beautiful Bangor University, which gave students a reason to choose them beyond the fact that there are still places available on specific courses. Their campaign was called Go Beyond, with the sell being the fact that they offer a quality education, a quality lifestyle, and have an emphasis on outdoor living and the coastal environment. The University of Birmingham used location-based imagery to promote themselves and a message which focused on opportunities for international students, the global university at the heart of an ambitious city. Back to the coast, University of Brighton again led with their desirable location, referencing a single-site campus, buzzing with creative energy, and images of the beach and the pier. Messages of belong at Brighton and be here this year also reinforced the idea of starting your student life there. Swansea University led with their location, using a beautiful full-page print advert in the style of the vintage 1930s travel posters. The headline simply said, "Where bright futures begin," and showed 2 graduates gazing out across the Swansea seafront. And finally, University of East Anglia used a strong creative message, "This is UEA," to showcase the wealth of diversity and opportunity available in and around their Norwich base. They also used video to great effect to offer a window into their world and show what life as a student there could really be like, offering a true sense of the place itself.
Now on to the personal touch. So this year we also saw universities make a real effort to talk directly to students, to make students feel as if only they could offer the perfect place to live and learn. And this was emphasised through direct language and the sense that these universities genuinely cared about you and your well-being. So starting with Bournemouth University, they stressed the use of you and your in their messaging to make their communication personal and suggest a sense of ownership and belonging. By saying things like, make this your home and make us your uni, they empowered students to make a personal lifestyle choice and then reinforce this further through the relevance of their social posts. The University of Warwick led with, this could be the place for you, and elaborated on why by sharing top tips and student stories across social media. And then finally, the University of Cumbria centred their campaign around the creative message of "We've got you," a message of reassurance and support. It said, we're here for you, there's a place for you with us where you can find your career, your course and your calling. So lots of universities, most in fact, posted messages of congratulations on A-level results day. However, their impact varied hugely. From bland and static messages that merely acknowledged the event to much more personal ones where it was clear that the universities and the students involved really cared about connecting with students and personalising their messages. These were much more effective as they stood out from the crowd and inspired students looking for an alternative to their first choice to uni to find out more about these ones. So Kingston University London, now they had a really nice congratulations on results day video with lots of different students saying, well done, you made it, in lots of different ways. And they made it more personal than many other universities, which helped students to feel as if they really meant it.
Welcome to the Kingston family.
Happy Results Day.
Congratulations, you made it.
Congratulations, see you in September.
What a relief.
Congratulations, you've done it. You made it.
Congratulations on your results. You must be very proud of yourselves.
Well done, you smashed it.
Badayo. Félicitations tout le monde.
Happy results day, guys. Honestly, well done.
Yeah, you, big up yourself.
Really nice video content there. So the University of Northampton, now they shared a congratulations post on results day, but it was pretty generic rather than personal, and it promoted their hotline and opportunity to talk to an academic rather than a student. Harriet Watt University had a congratulations and good luck message for results day from your Harriet Watt family, which made it feel personal, plus a don't worry reminder that they have lots of places still available. The University of Nottingham recorded a personalised congratulations video for results day. It was recorded by lots of different students, which gave it a genuine and personal feel. So let's take a look.
You got in! Congrats! Welcome to Nottingham!
Congratulations!
Congratulations! You've officially survived A-levels and now it's time to move on to the next stage in your life. University.
We can't wait to meet you.
You're coming to uni! Woo!
Congratulations and welcome to your new home. You're gonna love it.
Congratulations, we can't wait to see you in September.
Congratulations, you did it. Welcome to Nottingham.
Congratulations, you've made it to the best uni on earth.
Congratulations, you've done it.
Congratulations from Take 5!
You did it, well done! Welcome to uni!
Congratulations, you did it.
Congratulations, you did it. Yay!
Congratulations, freshers, and well done.
Congratulations and welcome to Nottingham.
Welcome to the University of Nottingham. I know you're going to love it.
Oxford Brookes had a congratulations message and an animated banner of people letting off party poppers to celebrate the occasion.
Oh, they look so happy.
They do. They look very, very happy. And then moving on to meeting the team. So putting a face to a voice is always good, and lots of universities featured images of the people who'd been manning their clearing hotline. Whether they were the actual people that you'd end up speaking to or not was irrelevant. What was important was that it helped students to imagine who was at the end of the phone, as it added personality and warmth to what can be for many a daunting experience. Now, the University of Cumbria took Meet the Team to a whole new level. They didn't just have a clearing hotline, they had a clearing roadshow, which promoted across Facebook. This toured key target cities across the UK and encouraged people to find your career, your course, your calling, and register to join the University of Cumbria. Great. And now the University of Greenwich. So they were prolific users of Twitter over the clearing period. They'd showed students answering calls and suggested it's fine to call them for advice. They tweeted that they were live on Radio London with clearing advice, and they tweeted images of the call centre too, to encourage students to call them. Solent University shared some social video posts with the clearing brand clearly visible behind the student talking from the call centre, encouraging people to get in touch. And Heriot Watt University shared videos shown as if on the screen of a mobile phone, which showed the clearing call centre team and encouraging students to get in touch with them. We'll just take a look at that one now. Finally, the University of Glasgow had various posts across Facebook and Twitter. Some were subject specific, while others advertised the fact that the hotline was open with images of people in the clearing team.
So now, don't worry, be happy. The message of don't panic from last year's clearing campaigns was toned down to a gentler one of don't worry this year. We have the University of Greenwich, which used animated ads on social media channels to say, don't worry about exam results or getting into uni, get priority access, driving students to pre-register with them online.
Clearing can be a busy and stressful time. Maybe you're worried about your exam results, or you're no longer sure about your first choice. Whatever your reasons for going through clearing, you can take the pressure off by doing just one thing. Sign up to our priority clearing service today.
Then we've got Leeds Beckett University with messages across online and print asking if you're worried about your results, and followed up by saying, if so, don't be, apply to Leeds Beckett. They also shared tips on how to stay calm from students who've been there before. And finally in this group, Heriot Watt University shared positive, life-affirming Instagram-style quotes such as, you're not alone and we'll still get to where you need to be, while their video posts had messages of don't worry and featured their student president offering words of useful advice. We'll take a look at their video now.
Hi guys, my name's Raoul and I'm your Student Union President. It's been absolutely incredible being on the lines for clearing today. There's so many of you calling in and I'm so excited to potentially meet so many of you during Freshers Week. Some tips from me when you're calling in, like calm down, chill out, it's all good. We will find something that will suit you. And if you haven't considered Heriot Watt yet, why would you not? We have 3 campuses in 3 countries. It's absolutely incredible, so get calling us.
So next in our creative themes is the stuff of dreams. The big picture thinking and aspirational outcomes were also key clearing themes this year, with quite a few universities opting for images of students staring into the middle distance with a keen future focus on their face. Let's take a look. So the University of Hertfordshire used the consistent clearing message of I'm going places, with bright graphic backgrounds coupled with edgy black and white shots of students. Predominantly this was across out-of-home sites, on buses and train stations, supported by social media, with the message neatly tying into the idea of going on a journey towards a desired destination. The University of East London had a great example of joined up, consistent and aspirational creative. So UEL's clearing campaign was centred around the hashtag #BeTheNext. It contained lots of video content and posts that showcased stories of students who came to UEL through clearing and have since gone on to achieve great success in their chosen field. An inspirational message told by real people about their real experiences. It encouraged you to be the next whatever you want to be with UEL. Let's take a look. There's a really nice bit of content there. Now moving on to Oxford Brookes University. So they led with the message, never stop believing, which despite being slightly reminiscent of a song from Glee and one of my guilty pleasures, was also a message of empowerment and future success. And finally, the University of Salford. They had the consistent creative message, become unstoppable, and they pictured a student gazing into the distance. This was a strong message of momentum, progress, and action.
Right, all call to action and know why. There's still plenty of universities who felt that all they needed to do was have a presence and a hotline number on clearing day. And if they were always someone's second choice, then this may be enough. But if you're a student who's unsure what university to choose and why, then this approach could be considered lazy or even slightly arrogant. We've got a few for you here. So, of the 15 universities we looked at, around, well, not 15 universities, of the universities we looked at, around 15 used the hotline number as a call to action with little or no additional reason as to why you should call it. And these included Bucks New University, or Make the Brighter Choice, was the headline on some material, but other than that, there was no real reason to choose here if you hadn't already got it on your radar. No explanation as to why it was the right choice, no emotive or factual appeal. Coventry University had a clear call to action and a bespoke animation told students how to apply for clearing. Let's take a look. So while that was instructional and it details all the ways that you can contact Coventry and relax, it doesn't say why you should choose Coventry and what's in it for you if you do. Next, we've got City University London. This is City, came across as very factual, and it simply pointed you towards the clearing hotline. De Montfort University with a clear call to action and a prominent hotline number or option to request a callback. And there's a really striking visual of the lion and flames, but beyond that, there's no clear creative message as to why you should choose to study at DMU. And finally, Liverpool John Moores University had a clear call to action across social and comprehensive clearing page on their website. This also contained video content covering most frequently asked questions, subject areas, hints, tips, advice, personal stories, etc. They used a generic picture of students though, and failed to communicate a real reason as to why you should choose to study with them. This is just our opinion, of course.
And then we have our top tips. So lots of universities shared their top tips for clearing or how to stay calm, or a step-by-step guide for applying for a course. Some were very instructional, while others were quite cheeky and fun. Typically, these top tips were part of a wider campaign and tended to be peer-to-peer advice rather than from the university itself or an academic. So if we start with Anglia Ruskin University, now they shared their top 10 things to do before university starts and student tips and hints about how to deal with them. Brunel University used Facebook and Instagram to share top tips about mindset, how to prepare for clearing, Mythbusters, and they also had videos to explain what clearing is, together with advice for parents. And lastly, Birmingham City University stood out with their cheeky, tongue-in-cheek approach. On Facebook, they shared helpful advice about topics such as student finance, managing time productively before results day, and 20 courses you didn't know were in clearing. On Instagram, they shared pictures of their therapy dogs and suggested that they could help if you were feeling stressed. Their Instagram story offered 5 reasons to apply early for clearing. So lots of content there.
I love that one.
I like that one too. It's the dogs.
Okay, so last one of our creative overview. We've called this Nice Stuff. It's other things that we found across all the different campaigns that were running last year that caught our attention. So starting off with chatbots, we have Leeds Beckett University, who promoted a 24/7 chatbot who's available to make offers. Next, we have Bournemouth University, who promoted podcasts on Spotify called Clearing the Air. I like what they did there. It's a great name and a great way to get current students to communicate with prospective ones. They promoted it on Instagram. You swiped up to listen to the podcast. It had a youthful look and feel and covered topics of interest to new students, such as life in a new town, social activities, etc. Then we've got University of Hertfordshire with a well-branded campaign and consistent messaging across all material. This was continued onto their website, which was clear, well-branded, easy to navigate and apply. All the reasons why Herts was a great choice were also clearly shown. Then we've got the University of Liverpool with a consistent line, the welcoming red brick, and a brick graphic to unite their campaign. A series of branded videos showed the spirit, personality, students, location, subject, and potential of Liverpool. However, the videos weren't clearing specific. Here's a little sneak peek for you. Next up, Anglo-Ruskin University took over their Instagram account on results day to answer any questions and show prospective students around any aspects of ARU that they wanted to see. And finally, in this group, we've got the University of East London, which had one of the nicest examples of joined up, consistent and relevant creative messaging. With a really professional look and feel, their entire campaign centered around Be the Next, a message of empowerment and possibility. They created a suite of 5 videos featuring a diverse mix of ambassadors, people who had previously come to the university through clearing and were now emerging at the top of their chosen profession. A real mix of people with different skills, ambitions, and abilities. Their stories were incredibly inspirational and were shared consistently across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, along with a clear call to action hotline number. Right, so that is the end of our whistle-stop overview of the different creative campaigns that we saw out and about in Clearing 2019. So what are we seeing, gazing into our crystal ball for Clearing 2020? Here are our predictions for what may come to be in August this year.
So firstly, demographics. A continued decline in the proportion of white students with increases for BAME students. Direct to clearing. We expect free to be placed and direct to clearing places to increase. Applicants from the EU will decrease, given the continuing uncertainty over Brexit. Pre-results day will become more competitive and expensive, as students are thinking about clearing far earlier than they have historically. Record-making investment in clearing, which will turn focus towards targeted versus mass marketing quality over quantity. And finally, high-impact formats. Live action, video content, and chatbots will continue to be a significant force, with new high-impact formats being used more extensively to create distinction.
Thanks, Amy. And just leading on from one of the points that Amy made there around quality over quantity, I just wanted to talk to you briefly about our segmentation product and just take you through how you might approach looking for that quality applicant and the right kind of applicant through that clearing period. So we know that our clearing applicants are very different to the applicants that we get through main UCAS cycle, and they have different characteristics and they behave differently. So how do we target those people in such a crowded marketplace, and how do we distinguish those people between our main UCAS scheme typical applicant? Well, one of the ways that you can do that is through propensity-based modelling. And essentially what this allows you to do is build a value through combining lots of different data points and layers of insight. So we can look at things such as somebody's postcode, their age, their gender, the previous school or college that they went to, subject areas that they're interested in, the grades that they're predicted, and looking at how all of those data points combine to identify the characteristics that make up a successful clearing applicant. So somebody who is more likely to convert and choose your institution over the clearing period. Now we do that through data-driven analysis, through kind of shade analysis, building decision trees and looking at that combination of data points. That kind of past observation data helps us predict how people are going to behave in the future. And once we've gone through this analysis process, we're able to create propensity-based segments on a scale of low, medium, high, and very high. So you can see the varying conversion rates throughout those 4 different segments and start to prioritize your market activity depending on those different segments and how much resource and budget you have to essentially target the right type of applicant. Once we've created those propensity-based segments, we're actually then able to identify market opportunity using one of our tools, our in-house tools called YWare, which houses a lot of sector data, so the HESA data sets. we can identify people who have those similar characteristics to those identified as your propensity-based segments and see where there are opportunities within postcode areas to recruit a similar type of student. Now, a clearing-based segmentation product starts at about £10,000 plus VAT, depending on the brief, and we can work with you to identify scope. There's also a little bit more information on our website around clearing segmentation. A blog has been written by one of our colleagues, Tim Landucci, so do take a look and check it out, or please do get in touch if you would like to know more information.
Thanks, Vicky. So our last segment before we begin the Q&A. These are our top tips for standing out and delivering a great clearing campaign. And I'm sure they're things that you have thought about. But as you can see from the range of different material that's out there, some of it is worth considering again and thinking about how these things come together and if you can tick all the boxes.
Firstly, master the basics. Don't strive to stand out through innovation if you haven't got the basics right. Understanding who you are as an institution and why people should choose you is central to creating a compelling and consistent clearing campaign that achieves results. Next, calls to action are important, but not as important as telling someone why you. Don't sacrifice message for call to action. It's a journey. Remember, every media placement is just one point on a journey. Rarely is it the only point. So effective attribution analysis is required to fully understand what worked in 2019. Maximize impact through integration. If you don't have a fully functioning content framework in place, now is the time to address it. This will support alignment to audiences' needs and the process of integrated collaboration in production. Think big. Audience first. Deliver superior customer experiences and use the voice of the customer to inform and influence your business strategy. Be smart with your budget, know your audiences, and don't necessarily try to compete with the biggest investors. Finally, content around medicine, law, and psychology subjects will be best placed to attract audiences during the busy clearing period.
So that's everything for us. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll start taking your questions and answering them. So over to you.